Close your eyes and imagine a world untamed, where the earth itself breathes with raw, primal energy. Beneath a sky streaked with fiery reds and purples, colossal ferns sway in a humid breeze, their fronds casting jagged shadows on a jungle floor teeming with life. In the distance, a volcano rumbles, its ash drifting like snow over a landscape where strange creatures, half familiar, half alien, scuttle through undergrowth or swing between towering trees. This is Earth, millions of years ago, a crucible of chaos where the seeds of humanity were sown. How did we, fragile dreamers of the cosmos, emerge from this savage cradle to walk upright, forge tools, and claim the planet as our own? This is no mere history lesson. It's an epic saga of survival, ingenuity, and the unyielding fire of evolution. Grab a seat by the campfire, because we're diving deep into the prehistoric heart of our story, and I promise, you'll want to stay until the final spark fades. Let's begin our journey 20 million years ago, in the heart of what we now call East Africa. Picture a jungle so dense it feels like a living cathedral, its canopy a mosaic of emerald leaves filtering golden sunlight, vines thicker than a man's arm draped between trees, and the air is thick with the scent of overripe fruit and damp earth. The soundscape is alive, shrill calls of unseen creatures, the rustle of leaves, the distant growl of a predator stalking the forest floor. This is the domain of the Proconsul, early primates who are our distant kin. They move with a dancer's grace, their four limbs gripping branches as they swing from one tree to another, their eyes scanning for the next ripe fig or tender leaf. The Proconsul are a diverse bunch. Some are small, no bigger than a house cat, their delicate frames darting through the upper branches. Others are heftier, rivaling a modern gorilla, their bulk balanced precariously on thicker boughs. Their world is a high-altitude haven, far above the dangers of the jungle floor where saber-toothed cats and early crocodiles lurk. They feed on nature's bounty, sweet fruits, soft leaves, the occasional insect, living a life of relative ease. Fossils unearthed in Kenya and Uganda reveal their secrets. Small skulls with walnut-sized brains, short snouts and modest canines that suggest a peaceful existence. They don't fight for dominance like modern chimps. Their social bonds are loose but harmonious, built on shared meals and mutual grooming under the dappled light. This treetop world feels like a lost Eden, doesn't it? The Proconsul didn't need to conquer their environment. They were perfectly tuned to it. Their simplicity is a lesson in balance, a reminder that survival doesn't always demand complexity. Yet, their small brains held a latent potential, a flicker of possibility that would one day ignite into human consciousness. As I think about their lives, I'm struck by how their world mirrors our own moments of comfort, those times when we're content but unaware of the changes lurking just beyond the horizon. The Proconsul's jungle was their universe, but the Earth had other plans. Let's linger in this jungle a bit longer. The trees here are giants, their trunks cloaked in moss and fungi, their roots sprawling like the veins of the earth itself. Mist clings to the lower branches, creating a ghostly veil that obscures the ground below. At dawn, the jungle wakes with a symphony of hoots and screeches as Proconsul groups stake out their feeding grounds. By midday, the heat is oppressive, and they retreat to shaded perches, nibbling on fruit while keeping a wary eye on rivals. Night brings new dangers, owls with talons like daggers, snakes that blend into the bark. The Proconsul's agility is their shield, their ability to leap across gaps a testament to millions of years of arboreal life. This is a world of verticality, where the ground is a distant, hostile frontier, and the canopy is both home and fortress. Now, let's shift to a pivotal moment, around 10 million years ago, when the Earth's climate turned traitor. A global cooling trend swept across the planet, drying the once lush jungles of Africa. Picture the scene. The vibrant green canopy begins to thin, trees wither, and gaps widen between the remaining groves. The jungle, once a seamless highway for the Proconsul's descendants, fragments into isolated islands of green surrounded by open, sun-scorched land. The air grows drier, the fruit scarcer, and the predators bolder, venturing closer to the shrinking forests. For the heirs of the Proconsul, this is a catastrophe. Swinging from tree to tree is no longer an option when trees are miles apart. To survive, they must descend to the ground, a realm of dust and danger they've avoided for millennia. Enter Ardipithecus, a transitional creature caught in evolution's crucible. Fossils like the remarkable Ardi skeleton from Ethiopia's Afar region paint a vivid picture. Their hips tilt forward, allowing a wobbly bipedal gait, but their feet remain curved, better suited for grasping branches than striding across plains. Their arms, long and sinewy, dangle to their knees, and their hands are a curious blend, part ape, part human, capable of both climbing and crude manipulation. They don't fully abandon the trees. When leopards or hyenas prowl, they scramble back to safety. But the ground is where their future lies, and each step is a gamble. The fall of Ardipithecus from the trees is more than a physical descent. It's a psychological rupture. Imagine the terror of leaving the only home you've ever known, the branches that cradled your ancestors for generations. This moment feels like a prehistoric allegory for our own leaps of faith, quitting a safe job, moving to an unfamiliar land, or facing a crisis that upends everything. Ardipithecus didn't choose this path. The environment forced their hand. Yet their willingness to adapt, however reluctantly, is the spark that lit the human journey. It's a humbling reminder that change, however painful, is often the crucible for growth. Let's immerse ourselves in this transitional landscape. The shrinking jungle gives way to a mosaic of scrubland and grassland, where thorny acacias stand like sentinels amid seas of yellowed grass. Dust swirls in the wind, coating everything in a gritty film. Rivers, once swollen with monsoon rains, dwindle to muddy streams, forcing creatures to compete for water. At dusk, the sky burns orange, casting long shadows that make every rustle a potential threat. Ardipithecus moves cautiously, their eyes darting between the ground and the nearest tree. They forage for roots and fallen fruit, their clumsy steps kicking up clouds of dust. Predators are ever present, lions with manes like fire, hyenas with bone-crushing jaws. The ground is no longer a distant danger, it's a battlefield where survival demands new skills. Each night they huddle in low branches, their calls echoing through a world that feels increasingly alien. Fast forward to 4 million years ago, and the African savannah has claimed the stage. Picture an endless expanse of golden grass, rippling under a merciless sun. Scattered acacias offer meager shade, their thorns a defense against hungry browsers. Herds of antelope thunder across the plains, while elephants, their tusks gleaming, uproot trees in search of greenery. This is no longer a world of trees, it's a world of open horizons, where visibility is both a blessing and a curse. Here Australopithecus strives into view, their upright gait a triumph of adaptation. Fossils like Lucy, discovered in Ethiopia's Hadar region, reveal a creature built for endurance. Their legs, though short, carry them for miles, their arched feet absorbing the shock of long treks. They forage in groups, digging for tubers, picking berries, and scavenging carcasses left by predators. Their skulls retain an ape-like quality, jutting jaws, sloped foreheads, but their brains are larger, their canines smaller, hinting at a shift towards social complexity. They live in tight-knit bands, their chatter filling the air as they warn of danger or share a find. Curiosity drives them, pushing them to explore new valleys and test new foods. Australopithecus is the embodiment of resilience. They didn't just survive the savannah, they owned it. Their upright posture freed their hands, allowing them to carry food or gesture, laying the groundwork for communication. Their group dynamics fascinate me. By sticking together, they turned weakness into strength, a strategy we see in modern communities, From sports teams to disaster relief efforts, their curiosity too feels quintessentially human. They weren't content to hunker down. They roamed, experimented, and learned. In a way, they were the first explorers mapping the world with every step. The savannah is a world of extremes. By day, the sun scorches the earth, baking the ground into cracked clay. Mirages shimmer on the horizon, taunting thirsty travelers. At night, temperatures plunge and the stars burn with a clarity that feels almost accusatory. The landscape is alive with sound, cicadas buzzing, lions roaring, the eerie cackle of hyenas. Australopithecus navigates this world with a mix of caution and boldness. They follow game trails, their eyes scanning for vultures circling a fresh kill. They climb rocky outcrops to survey the land, their silhouettes stark against the sunset. Danger is constant. Cheetahs that strike like lightning, snakes hidden in the grass. Yet the savannah offers riches. Seasonal streams teeming with fish, groves of fruit-laden trees, and the bones of fallen beasts, marrow ripe for cracking. Their lives are a delicate dance between risk and reward, each day a testament to their adaptability. By 2.5 million years ago, the savannah has shaped a new protagonist, Homo habilis, the handyman. Their brains, now swelling to 600 to 800 grams, unlock a revolutionary skill: tool-making. Picture a dry riverbed, its banks littered with smooth pebbles. A Homo habilis squats in the dust, striking one stone against another, chips flying like sparks. The result is a crude chopper, its edge sharp enough to slice meat, scrape hides, or fend off a scavenger. Fossils from Tanzania's Olduvai Gorge show their handiwork. Bones bearing cut marks, tools scattered like relics of a nascent revolution. These tools are simple but transformative. They allow Homo habilis to access new foods, tough roots, sinewy carcasses, and to defend their kills from hyenas. Their groups grow more complex, with tool makers sharing their craft, their hands gesturing as they teach. The savannah, once a gauntlet, becomes a workshop where ingenuity is forged. The birth of tools is a turning point, not just for survival, but for identity. Homo habilis didn't need fangs or claws, they had ideas. This shift from physical to mental prowess is what makes us human. Every modern invention, from the wheel to the internet, traces back to those first stone blades. But tools also brought responsibility. They gave Homo habilis power over their world, but at what cost? Were they ready to wield it? It's a question that echoes in our own era, as we grapple with technologies that outpace our wisdom. The savannah of Homo habilis is a land of opportunity and peril. Dry seasons turn rivers into cracked beds, forcing groups to dig for water in sandy channels. Wet seasons bring torrents, transforming the plains into marshes where hippos wallow and crocodiles lurk. The landscape is dotted with landmarks, termite mounds like spires, baobab trees with trunks like fortresses, rocky hills offering vantage points. Homo habilis camps near waterholes, their fires flickering against the night. They work in teams, one group foraging while another sharpens tools, their hands stained with ochre and blood. Predators circle, lions that stalk silently, leopards that drop from trees. Yet the tools give them an edge, turning scavengers into hunters. Their world is a forge, each tool a spark of progress, each day a lesson in survival. By 1.5 million years ago, the savannah is no longer a place to endure. It's a domain to dominate. Homo erectus, tall and lean, strides across the plains, their bodies honed for endurance. Their tools are more advanced, spears with fire-hardened tips, axes with balanced heft. Fossils from Kenya's Lake Turkana reveal their prowess. Bone piles ringed with tools, elephant and antelope skeletons bearing cut marks. They hunt in coordinated groups, tracking herds for days, their stamina outlasting even the swiftest prey. Homo erectus doesn't just hunt, they explore. They cross deserts and mountains, spreading from Africa to Asia and Europe. Their bodies, nearly identical to ours, are built for the long haul, their sweat glands cooling them under blazing suns. They build temporary shelters from branches and hides, their fires warding off the chill of starry nights. Homo erectus is a paradox, both predator and pioneer. Their hunting wasn't just about food, it was about strategy and teamwork, the seeds of culture. Their migrations fascinate me. Were they driven by hunger, curiosity, or something deeper? Their story challenges us to think about human movement today, refugees, explorers, or settlers seeking new horizons. They remind us that to be human is to wander, to seek, to adapt. The world of Homo erectus is vast and varied. In Africa, the savanna stretches to the horizon, broken by seasonal rivers and salt pans that gleam like mirrors. In Asia, dense bamboo forests give way to rolling steppes where wild horses gallop. In Europe, pine forests cling to rugged hills, their roots tangled with frost. The climate swings wildly, droughts that parch the land, monsoons that flood valleys. As the millennia unfold, a new figure emerges, heidelbergensis. Their brains rival ours in size, their eyes gleaming with a new awareness. They build shelters from mammoth bones and branches, their fires burning bright against the cold. Fossils from Germany and Zambia show a shift. Faces still rugged but less ape-like, with broader foreheads and smaller jaws. They craft tools with precision, their spears balanced for throwing. They carve crude symbols on bones, perhaps the first art, and burn their dead in rituals that hint at belief. Their world is one of ice and fire. Glaciers creep across Europe, while Africa's savannas pulse with life. They hunt megafauna, woolly rhinos, giant sloths, using traps and ambushes. Their groups are complex, with roles for hunters, gatherers, and caretakers. Their bonds forged through shared hardship. Heidelbergensis feels like the moment humanity awoke. Their art and rituals suggest a mind that dreams, that seeks meaning beyond survival. It's humbling to share their brainpower, yet they faced a world of raw danger. Their story is a call to use our intelligence wisely, to create, not destroy, to unite, not divide. They remind us that the human spark is fragile, but its potential is limitless. The world of heidelbergensis is a tapestry of extremes. In Europe, ice sheets grind mountains to dust, their edges fringed with tundra where reindeer graze. In Africa, savannas teem with life, zebras, giraffes, and predators like saber-toothed cats. Caves offer refuge, their walls blackened by smoke, their floors littered with bones. The seasons dictate survival. Summers bring bounty, winters, starvation. Heidelbergensis adapts with ingenuity, weaving nets from grass, sewing hides with bone needles. Their fires are sacred, tended through the night, their light a beacon against the dark. They gather at riverbanks, their songs, wordless but emotive, carrying across the water. This is a world where every day tests their wit, where the line between life and death is as thin as a spear's edge. To ground this ancient tale, let's connect it to modern examples. The Hadza of Tanzania, a hunter-gatherer tribe, live much like Australopithecus, foraging in small groups and sharing resources. Their ability to thrive in a harsh landscape mirrors the adaptability of our ancestors, their laughter a reminder of the social bonds that kept early humans alive. The Sand people of southern Africa, with their intricate tracking skills and stone-tipped arrows, echo Homo habilis, their tools a living link to the past. Consider the Turkana boy, a Homo erectus fossil found in Kenya in 1984. This teenager's skeleton, nearly complete, reveals a body like ours, but a life of constant peril. His bones, worn from long treks, tell a story of endurance. much like modern ultramarathoners who push human limits in deserts or mountains. Or think of the Lascaux cave paintings in France, created by later humans, but rooted in the artistic impulse of heidelbergensis. These vivid images of bison and hunters, lit by flickering torches, bring the prehistoric mind to life, showing us that creativity is as old as our species. These stories make the past tangible. The Hadza's resilience, the Sand's ingenuity, Turkana Boy's grit, and Lascaux's art are not just relics. They're proof that the traits forged in prehistory still shape us, from our drive to explore to our need to create. As we draw this prehistoric odyssey to a close, one truth burns bright. Humanity was not forged by strength or speed, but by the flame of intelligence. From the Proconsul's treetop ballet to Heidelbergensis's ritual fires, our ancestors faced a brutal world and chose to outthink it. They walked uncharted plains, crafted tools from stone, and dreamed under starlit skies, each step a spark that lit the path to us. The lesson? Kindle your own flame. The curiosity that drove Australopithecus to Rome, the ingenuity that armed Homo habilis, the vision that inspired Heidelbergensis, these live in you.